Bonjour à tous, nous sommes Onda UNED et nous sommes ici à le Centre international de convention du Costa Rica et nous sommes à la conférence internationale d'éducation à distance et c'est un plaisir d'être avec toi. Alors, nous allons parler un petit en français parce qu'on avait un cousin with me qui s'appelle Christophe Fournier. Qui vient de Montpellier de la France. Un plaisir d'être avec toi ici.
Un grand plaisir d'être ici au Costa Rica et dans cette conférence et un grand plaisir de faire ta connaissance, Sébastien Fournier, un cousin éloigné probablement.
Merci beaucoup. We're going to switch to English to make it, but we wanted to do it, the introduction in French, wasn't it?
It was very good. Your French is very good.
Thank you very much. And we want to discuss because the university where you work at Montpellier has done a lot of work on the digitalization process. So maybe tell us all of what you have been doing there and maybe speak a little bit about the university.
Yeah, sure, with great pleasure. Well, I'm Christophe Fournier. I'm professor of marketing and sales in University of Montpellier. And is a traditional university where we are proposing some different program at bachelor, undergraduate and both graduate levels. And we are offering presential courses, but also try to have some online courses. And this is a traditional university, and I've got a strong interest for distance learning for 20 years approximately. So e-learning is not a new way for me. I have done and taught a lot of e-learning much more before COVID-19 crisis. But I've got a second role also. I'm the president of a digital university which name is Aunege. And maybe a few words about Aunege. Aunege is the digital university focused on economics and management. But as I told you when we prepared this interview, the title, Digital University, is a little bit confusing just because we don't have students and we are not offering programs. But this university, Digital University focused on management and economy, is here to propose and develop some open educational resources. And as I told you, I'm focused on economy and management, but I've got some colleagues and other structure who are focused on technology and engineering, on humanities, on sport and health, for example. And all these different digital universities are then in a global envelope, which is the digital university.
And so you have been somehow incorporating these digital elements, these virtual elements, into the traditional university. That's mainly your focus at the moment.
Yeah, it was the purpose when this kind of structure, and just I remind you that we are part of a French higher education ministry, of course. This kind of structure were created around 20 years ago. The main purpose was to create digital resources in order to help traditional university to incorporate these kind of resources in their programs. And after, we focus a lot on Erasmus program and such cooperation with the European community. So in Aunege, we've got strong experience in some key topic like, for example, virtual mobility, which was very interesting during the sanitary crisis.
Yes.
Some students were unable to move physically, but we had good proposition to help them to move virtually through this kind of mobility. And another area where we have got good knowledge and experience is about the digital credentials. And we had a very great conference this morning with a Malaysian case study. And this kind of digital credential are very interesting for the future of our institutions.
Yeah, so you see, for example, micro credentials and all the gamification possibilities it has. So that looks like a good path for development of the university.
Yeah, absolutely. And digital credential could be game changing. It was the title of the conference this morning, and I think it could really change the game of the university, business school, and this kind of educational structures.
Great. You were telling me that one of the things that are very interesting for you is some of these materials that you develop at the Montpellier University actually, or the digital university, actually are also being implemented in sub-Saharan Africa, or, well, Africa really, because Algeria is also ex-French. So many countries in Africa are using the materials you're doing. So how does that work?
Yeah, of course, we've got some these resources which are available, and we try to respond to the goal of a United Nations, for example, and especially Sustainable Development Goals number 4, just to try to develop as much as possible education and higher education. And we've got several agreement and cooperation agreement with French-speaking country of Africa, for example, in Mali, Niger, in Ivory Coast, in Senegal, in Gabon. And we try to have some cooperation with these different countries in order to help them to provide online university. And this country have got what we say in French, université virtuelle, and it's big success for these countries.
Excellent. You are actually telling me even that you were doing some project, I think it was in Niger or one of these countries, when all this struggle has a stroke.
Well,
how did you go with that?
Yes, we've got agreement with several countries where the condition of studying are very difficult for many reasons. Demographic reasons are the first element which we need to take into consideration with two parts. The first part is student, the number of students is very high and there is not enough there is not enough university in order to respond to this need of education. And the second demographic problem is the problem of teacher, of faculty. There is not enough faculty and teachers. So this is an issue, and of course you've got a lot of security, war situation where sometimes it's very dangerous to go to physically to the university. And so digital courses could be a solution. Of course there are some limitations also because of internet connection and things like that. But it's good possibility for many countries here.
Thank you very much. Another big discussion has been about the incursion of AI in education. How do you think you can incorporate both in the case of the university in Montpellier, but also in these universities, how AI may change the game there?
Well, I think AI will change everything. I have attended several workshops yesterday and today talking about AI. We've got a lot of questions. We have no response. No response to this question.
Oh my God.
The main problem for us is exams. How can you validate, give some grade, and to be sure that the work which is done by the students is their own work? From the first minute when I saw ChatGPT coming, I said it's not a good way to forbid. Students need, this is a tool which is used in the company, and students need to use artificial intelligence. But our problem is to make the difference. Is this job done by ChatGPT or any other software, or was it a tool to help a student to think about this? So we've got a lot of questions here, and this is a big problem for the higher education system nowadays.
Thank you very much. Any message you want to
No,
deliver?
the other thing I would like to say is when we are developing open education resources, it's very expensive from a financial point of view, but also from a human point of view. If you want to develop a good OER, equivalent of 30 hours face-to-face, it takes 100, 200 hours to design everything. So one big possibility is to develop cooperation. And in that case, we are cooperating with ICDE, for example, which is leading a group of francophone resources, resource francophone in French-speaking language, okay? And we have developed a resource which was produced in New Zealand about the copyright system, and it was translated and adapted in the French language, but also in the French culture. And what OER are demanding now is to develop cooperation. It's not a good way to develop everywhere in the planet the same resources, but develop same resources and then translate and adapt. It might be a good, productive, effective way to go through. So the latest message is we need more cooperation, I think.
And that sounds like a great invitation as well.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, Sébastien.
Merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup. Et un plaisir d'être avec la famille dans quelques programmes. Merci beaucoup.
À bientôt.
Merci beaucoup partout qu'on était avec Aunege et nous continuons de parler avec beaucoup de personnes intéressantes dans notre programmation aujourd'hui. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.